Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got this question that I didn't really copy the whole email, but essentially someone asked me this question about how to tell people the truth and when to. And I thought this was kind of interesting because this is one of those things that is often misunderstood and done wrong, right? So I think that most people can't handle the truth and you shouldn't necessarily give it to them. And what I mean by that is I don't mean to necessarily lie to people, but I mean that like just because you observe something that you think someone should be aware of, it doesn't mean that you should tell them about it, because 90% of people, probably more, can't handle any form of criticism at all, and so it only ends up hurting you and it ends up damaging a relationship, right? The only people that I'll ever give the truth to, the real truth to, are people that I have very, very close relationships with, that I highly respect and know can take the truth. The people that I'm raw with and are raw with me, that we can throw punches back and forth, we can spar, and at the end of the day, we're going to shake hands, and we know that, you know, the sparring, the getting hit in the face, right, getting kicked in the groin, maybe not getting kicked in the groin, but all of that makes us stronger, and that's what we want, right? But not everyone is like that, right? So when you give someone the truth, okay, and they're not expecting it, and they're not prepared for it, and they don't want it, it's sort of like going up to someone and like sucker punching them, right? It's like just throwing a punch at some random person in the face. And a lot of times we do this in life and we expect that they're gonna have a positive reaction. Well, I just gave you the truth. Aren't you happy about that? Or you can't handle the truth? Well, you just punched me in the face and I didn't even see it coming, right? So, I mean, that's most people in life. Most people are not going to appreciate that or see that as a beneficial thing, right? And there's actually a really good book I've recommended quite a few times, one of my top books. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And in this book, he talks about this idea. There's definitely a lot of talk about this idea that people don't accept criticism. So you should never give criticism to people, at least for the most part, because most people will make justifications and they're just going to resent you, or they might even shine you on and agree with you, but secretly they're going to harbor some kind of bitterness or resentment towards you. So I would recommend not telling people the truth. Again, this doesn't mean blowing smoke up people's ass. It just means shutting your mouth. It just means not pointing out the things, or not speaking. And here's another thing. It's like, I think that what I found is that, I mean, unsolicited advice is definitely the worst, right? You know, I've done this before. I'm guilty of it myself. And it's always the worst reaction, right? And here's the thing. It's like, I see people that I want to help. Okay, because I know that I can see their problem and I can help them. Even sometimes in the gym, right? I have to resist sometimes, but every once in a while I do, especially when someone's doing something so wrong that I feel like they're going to injure themselves. And 90% of the time, even when I give that kind of advice, right, no matter how I give it, it's taken wrong, right? Like they might even shine me on, but I can see it in their eyes. I know that they're like, yeah, whatever, dude, whatever, right? That's kind of the attitude. And so, you know, a lot of times you'll give advice. You'll find someone that you want to tell the truth of. You want to help them, right? And so that's your honest motive. And when you do that, you'll just create resentment. It will backfire. So there's those people that you approach and you are offering unsolicited advice, and that's always bad move. There's very few people that will take unsolicited advice. Now, with that said, you should be one of them. Okay, you should be the kind of person that when someone gives you unsolicited advice, tells you something you're doing wrong, that you don't necessarily believe it or agree with it, but you take it. What do I mean by take it? I mean that you don't react to it. You don't get upset. You don't fight against it. You don't push against it. You just take it as it is. Someone said this thing. You can use it or you can throw it out. You know, I'm very big on saying to not take feedback. I've got this video on not taking feedback, and what I mean is that I don't want other people's ideas about what I should be doing or goals for my life or perception of me to influence me directly. Like, I don't want to base what my actions are and what I choose to do out of life based on whether people like it or not. Okay, so that's a different thing. But at the same time, if you tell me something that you think I'm doing wrong, or something that I should consider, or some hard truth, I'm gonna listen to it. my ears are open, okay? And I'm not judging it. I'm not saying, even if it comes off in the wrong way, I'm saying, okay, I'm hearing this. I'm taking this in. It doesn't mean that I'm modifying my actions. It may mean that I am, but I'm processing it. It's becoming part of my own framework, my own wiring, my own information that I'm using to determine what I should do, right? It's coming in as input, and then I'm going to process that, and then there's going to be possibly some output from that. It's a totally different thing than just like, taking criticism and changing, right? Oh, so many people are so afraid. They're like, oh, this person told me this thing. I gotta do that. But most people, like I said, don't even have that problem at all. Most people will just do the opposite. If you push them, they will push back at you, regardless of whether you have a good truth or not. Now, there's a second category, which is the people that solicit you for advice, right? The people that ask you. See, this is a trap. This is mostly a trap, because there's a lot of people also that you'll find in life that will ask you for advice, especially if you're succeeding at something, right? But they don't want to hear the answer. What they're actually seeking is validation. Okay, I did some videos on validation here you can check out. But what they're seeking is validation for what they already believe about something. So they ask you a question, okay? And they don't want your opinion, they don't want to answer. They just want you to reinforce or confirm what they already think, right? Or what they're already doing. And when you don't, they're gonna be really pissed at you. They're gonna think that you're the enemy. They're gonna think you're attacking them when they've actually asked you for advice. So when someone does this to me, I basically refuse to participate. Okay, if you want me to give you the actual real truth, okay, about something, you have to be worthy of it. You have to show me that you're worthy of it. I have to trust you, because I'm not going to give the truth to just anyone, right, who asks me for it, because they don't really want it. I need to see some kind of evidence, some kind of proof that you actually want advice and that you're actually willing to grow and take that into account, right? And that's majority of people. No, majority of people, they're just looking for validation, like I said. So it's very, very rare when you should actually give the truth to someone. What you should be doing is you should be gaining your own wisdom. You should be looking at where people are making mistakes. You should be looking at where people are failing. You should be looking at the wrong things that people are doing and reflecting it back to yourself, so that you can see how you should change yourself and how you should change your life and how you're like that person, right? And the hypocrisy maybe that you have going on in your own life. And so I rather use people as an example, right? Instead of trying to fix someone else and instead of trying to give someone else unsolicited advice, or even to give them the truth when they ask for it, because I know that they can't handle it. Instead, I'm looking at that and I'm looking at the situation and I'm saying, is that me to some degree? Is there some element of me in there that I would give myself, because I can handle the truth that I give to myself. We can all handle that much better than the truth that other people give us, right? And then, like I said, on the very, very rare occasion where I've met a worthy opponent, someone who will get in the ring with me and appreciates getting punched, right? There are some places where people say some harsh shit to me. So these are my buddies. These are my sparring partners. These are the guys that are going to give me the truth, and I want the truth, and they're willing to accept the truth, right? And those, you got to find some people like that around you, right? My best friends in life, the people that I trust the most, are the people that I can give that hard truth to, and they'll give it to me as well. And we can debate it back and forth because we want to find the truth. There's no egos involved. There's only finding that. But that's very few and rare people. And it's not necessarily your friends you have now, and it's not necessarily your family. Especially it's not your family. I'll tell you that. Right? Most of the time your family does not want to have the truth. They do not. They just, like, you shouldn't even discuss the truth with your family for the most part, right? I mean, this is just, again, maybe it's different for some people, but I can tell you that the closer that someone is, doesn't necessarily mean that they can handle the truth. In fact, it means it's more likely that they're less likely to handle the truth. It takes a special kind of person. So yeah, so I'm not advocating lying. I'm not advocating deceiving people, right, or blowing smoke up people's ass. I'm just saying that you should keep your mouth shut for the most part. You should observe and see how it can reflect on you and how you can change your own life, rather than using the truth to try and help someone or bludgeon someone. Either one is possibly going to have the same result for you, and it's not going to be good, right? I understand the feeling. I want to help people. I want to change people's lives. That's why I do these videos. I give you the truth here, But if you're here and you're watching these videos, you want the truth and you want to change it. And some people don't even want to. That's fine. They unsubscribe or whatever, they leave nasty comments. But the people that actually do want to change their lives, this is, I'm not forcing this down people's throat. I'm not sending my videos to my friends or to my relatives saying, you got to learn this. You got to, listen to what I'm saying here, right? I'm just putting out here, and whoever wants it can take it, right? And sometimes my truths aren't correct. Can you believe that? Sometimes I got it wrong. And I got to figure it out, but I'm figuring it out here. If you want to join me as I'm figuring it out, click that subscribe button below. Click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.